Hello team, welcome to my first weekly market outlook where I would be going over my watch list for the week ahead based on the fundamentals as well as the technicals. So starting off from the brief fundamental bias. So for me, dollar is bullish mainly due to the high inflation and the good growth numbers. Euro for me is quite bearish with the mainly due to the poor growth numbers. GBP is slightly bearish due to low growth numbers, but still the growth numbers are a little bit higher than the euros. But also they have not the highest inflation. CAD for me is uncertain because they have quite a high inflation but very weak growth numbers. So that's why to see the clear bias, we need to see more numbers coming up. Swiss for me is bearish due to the S&B intervention. They want to keep the inflation a little bit higher than it is right now, but they can't really cut the rates since they are at 0% already. Therefore, they are intervening to weaken their currency a little bit. AUD, in my opinion, is slightly bullish because they have a very high inflation, but also the weak growth numbers. So, as opposed to the NZD, where NZD has a good growth numbers and a high inflation, therefore, in my opinion, NZD is more bullish than the AUD at the current point in time. However, we have to keep in mind that those two currencies are very dependent on the risk sentiment, so definitely something to watch out entering a position on those pairs. So coming up to the technicals, my watch list consists of the pairs to my right. So as we can see, the Euro USD, I'm bearish on Euro USD. We see that the structure is bearish, and we see a lot of momentum in towards the downside. Therefore, I'm happy to just continue with that overall order flow further in towards the downside. As we can see, very nice entry explained for the mentorship students. That once we liquidated the daily high, we saw very nice immediate reaction to the downside. So I would be just focused on keep on shorting the Euro USD. Going over the 4-hour time frame, I like to see that finally after a period of pullback, we broke the internal structure to be in line with the swing structure. And we see that we have a beautiful three condition POI where it liquidated the low to the left and left behind some liquidity. So therefore I would be happy to see some more shorts coming through from this area. Going over to USD Swiss, I'm bullish on the USD Swiss, therefore I would be focused on longs. We can see that the daily carries a lot of momentum in towards the upside. Therefore, I would be happy to look for more aggressive buys in line with the daily order flow. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have multiple bumps in the road. Therefore, I would be happy to see some pullback either to here, to this bump in the road in line with the monthly, quarterly open and the EMAs. That would be the perfect spot for me to long it. And also we have the most extreme bump in the road over here. So 3 points that I would be looking for longs. Once I see the confirmation on one of them, I would be happy to take a long setup on this pair. Going over to the Euro NZD. On Euro NZD, we can see that my analysis played out very nicely from the extreme liquidity point. We sold off massively in towards the downside. I missed that it didn't close below this low, but I still do think that we have a downside potential. In my opinion, the pair could be already ready to short it from this bump in the road upon some confirmation, or we can see it trade up a little bit higher to those three descending highs, and then once I see the confirmation, I would be happy to further short Euro NZD. Going over to GBP NZD, GBP NZD looks a little bit better in my opinion than the Euro USD, mainly due to it closing below the 4-hour swing low. Therefore, we have a valid break of structure, and now I would be happy to see the pullback either to this bump in the road or to grab those descending highs and look for some shorts from here in line with the monthly, quarterly and yearly open. This bump in the road would be already valid to short from, mainly because this is a only daily liquidity point from this whole leg down. So I would be happy to short it already from here. Going over to AUD Swiss. On AUD Swiss, we can see that after the period of consolidation and some pullback to the liquidity. We can see it finally broke out of the range, creating the daily break of structure. Daily order flow is still bullish, so I would be happy to look for pullback to this liquidity spot or this liquidity spot to look for some further longs towards my weekly target being this overall high. And looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have beautiful three condition POI forming with this sell before the buy, grabbing liquidity to the left and leaving some open lows here. So I would be happy to look for some potential trades from around this point. Going over to AUD NZD, before shorting this pair, I was waiting for the second break to confirm that really the pullback is ongoing. So now we grab the daily liquidity and I would be happy to look for some shorts. As we can see on the 4-hour time frame, I would love to see one more drive up, swipe early buyers, tap the premium prices, and then some nice order flow confirmation to sell AUD NZD. And last of all, going to the NZD Swiss, we can see that we finally broke out of this consolidation period with a lot of momentum, so I would be happy to this high, by the way, is not taken out. This week didn't take out this high, therefore I would be still targeting this the turquoise dashed line. Seeing this much momentum, I would be happy to long it aggressively from this first daily bump in the road, which on a 4-hour would look like this. After grabbing all of those trendline lows, I would be happy to look for some confirmation and then long it towards my overall target. So yeah guys, thank you for watching my first market outlook. Hope you enjoyed that one, and wish you fantastic trading week and many profits this week. See you guys.